As therapists, we want to be mindful, which begs the question, what is mindfulness? There's not one agreed definition of mindfulness. There are many different definitions, and what I've done is looked at all of these different definitions and come up with an acronym that I'm very fond of. The acronym is FLOC. FLOC stands for Flexible, Open, Curious, Kind Attention. So everyone pretty much agrees that mindfulness is an attention process, and all authorities then determine or talk about the different qualities that are involved in this special kind of attention. It's not just everyday attention, it's a special kind of attention. So FLOC, the FL is for flexible. It's flexible attention. It's not rigid, inflexible attention like a kid playing Xbox glued to the screen. Burglars could come into his house, steal everything as long as they leave the Xbox. He won't even notice they're there. It's not that kind of rigid, inflexible attention. You know, I'm talking to you at a dinner party. I want to be engaged in the conversation with you, but I smell smoke coming from over there. I want to be able to shift my attention to where it needs to go. So sometimes it's a very narrow focus, sometimes a broad focus, sometimes an inner focus to my thoughts and feelings, sometimes an external focus to the outer world. So this flexibility of attention, and it's open attention. There's a quality of openness to it. I'm not fighting with my experience in this moment. I'm not running away from my experience in this moment. I'm turning towards it with an attitude of openness. And there's an element of curiosity. I'm curious about what is present right here, right now. Even if it's something really unpleasant, like a painful emotion or a painful thought, I'm curious about it. And there's a kindness to it. And this is probably the most controversial element of mindfulness, but I kind of like the mindfulness constructions that emphasize the element of warmth and kindness. There's a kindness to this attention. It's not a stern, it's not a cold, detached, clinical, scientific attention like a scientist dissecting a rat in a laboratory. There's not a harshness to it. There's a kind of warmth and kindness. So if you keep those qualities in mind, a quality of attention that is flexible, open, curious, and kind, and we want to bring this into every moment of our therapy sessions in the ideal world. Now, in the real world, obviously that's impossible unless you happen to be the Dalai Lama, and I'm guessing that you're not. But the more we can bring these qualities of flexible, open, curious, kind attention into moment to moment throughout the session, the more powerful the therapeutic relationship and the more flexible we will be. Because we'll be able to be aware of our own sticking points, aware of our own issues, aware of our own difficult thoughts and feelings, aware of our own unhelpful mind chatter that shows up in those difficult moments of therapy, and to kind of unhook ourselves from that difficult stuff and refocus and engage with the client.